This week we're going to highlight planting progress of beans here in the U.S. as well as short-term weather trends. Then we're going to turn our attention to the latest trends in U.S. export of beans. And we're going to wrap things up with a long-term review of November soybean futures. Hi, this is Brian Bastine with Advanced Trading. Let's talk about the soybean market. We've moved into the final few days here of May, and we're trying to wrap up soybean planting nationwide. Let's take a look at progress. The USDA came out here on Tuesday of this week and indicated that 76% of the beans were planted nationwide. Notice last year only 66% of the beans were planted, and the 5-year average is 68%. So we're still looking at a brisk pace of bean planting here in 2025. Let's take a look at the history of bean planting progress here. Again, we're looking at the last 5 years here, and we're noticing that we're looking at 76%. That's the second fastest pace ever recorded for bean planting here in the U.S. On average, approximately 20% of the U.S. beans are planted between May 25th and June 8th. So weather permitting, we may be approaching 95% of the beans planted by that first week of June. Speaking of the weather, let's take a look at the short-term trends. Our slides this week, as usual, are courtesy of T-Storm Weather. Now we're looking here at the last few days of May. It is going to be some showers around and thunderstorms all the way through Friday of this week. Heaviest rainfall is in that dark green oval, if you will, maybe a ½ inch to 1.5 inches there. All across that light green area, though, north to south, maybe only about a ⁄4 inch. And we're keeping a close eye on that here as we try and wrap up bean planting. What about temperatures? As we look at through Thursday of this week, all across that light blue area is going to remain cool. However, there is a pattern change taking place. Moving into this weekend, and particularly next week, it's going to warm up quite a bit as we enter the month of June. Speaking of the month of June, let's take a look at next week here. June 2nd through the 7th, all across that dark green area in the west here, looks like we're going to have a large system move in and create some rainfall. Maybe 3/4 inch to 1.5 inches across that area. So warmer and wetter area as we're in the month of June. Let's take a look at total precip amounts over the next 2 weeks. I can see from our map here, we're looking at normal to above normal across pretty much the entire soybean belt. Heaviest rainfall there in Kansas and up in parts of North Dakota, but southern Wisconsin also, but most areas seeing normal precip. Let's shift gears now and focus on export trends of beans here in the U.S. Now we're looking here at a program that's starting to wind down here. We're looking at actually a 3-year high, but notice well below some of those levels that we saw 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago. Notably absent, of course, is China, which has turned its attention to sourcing beans to Brazil. Now let's look at the highlight here. U.S. soybean exports are continuing to decline as those Brazilian supplies continue to work into the world market. This is likely to remain the case during the final quarter of the crop year, June through August, and perhaps all the way through September as well. Let's wrap things up this week. Look at the trends in November soybean futures. Now, November beans, as we tape here on Wednesday, are trading near $10.40 a bushel. Notice as we move into those months of July, August, and September, however, the potential is certainly there for increased price volatility. That's why we continue to strongly encourage you to work closely with your trusted risk management advisor to manage price movement. Now, if you'd like more information, please feel free to contact us at 800-664-2321. We'll put you in contact with one of our risk management consultants who'll be happy to visit with you at your convenience. And remember, we update every Wednesday. Make sure to subscribe to our channel to never miss an upload. Thanks a lot. Have a good week.